All right, it's time for some of your comments now about Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. I asked for some of your comments a few days ago, and as you know, this is Bill Apter down here at Apter's Alley, so let's read a few of them, and then we're going to go to some special video comments. ELC 1960 wrote, Lesnar versus Joe with other, and I'm not going to read the entire text of some of these that are very long, but just to get the idea, Lesnar versus Joe with other participants could be a blessing, he writes, or a serious curse, especially if it's the wrong participants. I do not, however, see any right participants on the WWE's main roster. Reigns would be a drawing card, but the match itself is the draw. Don't need Reigns in there to potentially gum up the works. Strowman may be a bad choice because the jury is still out as to whether he can work a match with these two dudes. A big, immobile guy whose biggest upside is that he's not as unathletic as Kali, Kozlov, or Giant Gonzalez. So that was interesting. TV, Travis Volt, who we will hear from in a moment, on a few moments on video, chimed in that day. It said, you Bill said, big fight fever was the feel. That explains this perfectly. And then Reggie De Niro says, you Roman Reigns fans won't like this, I want to see Roman Reigns at the unemployment line right next to the Disco Inferno, and Buff Bagwell. He had a couple of adjectives there in front of Buff Bagwell that I would rather not read. So, and then the Rye Dog 61 said he'd like to see Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar in a rematch in a cage with Shane McMahon as a referee. I think that would be great. But again, I want to see one-on-one Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And again, no slight to Roman Reigns, but I haven't had my fill of Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Right now, let's go to comments from Travis Volts, as I mentioned, TV man, from the editor of Total Wrestling magazine over in the UK, and our own Big Ray Hernandez. Let's hear what they have to say. And again, you still have time to leave your comments below here on YouTube. So let's go to the videotapes.
Hello, Bill Apter and fans of OneWrestling.com everywhere. This is your old pal, Old T Volts, on the road for OneWrestling.com. That's right, they have me headed west. That's right, I'm heading to Boise, Idaho for a special assignment. More on that later. Anyways, Bill Apter wants to know what we think on the Brock Lesnar title situation. Who is going to face him at SummerSlam? Is it going to be Samoa Joe? Is it going to be the big dog in the yard, Roman Reigns? Now, I touched on this briefly in my Nuts and Volts Raw review. I invite you to check that out. But that aside, this is what I want to see happen. I do not, first of all, I do not want to see a three-way dance at SummerSlam because I like a title match to be one-on-one. As the Macho Man Randy Savage says, you either win it or you lose it in the middle of the ring. Okay, not the best impression, but I want to see a one-on-one encounter for the Universal title, and I do not want it to be Brock Lesnar defending against Roman Reigns, and I'll tell you why. We've seen that matchup, for one. We've seen it at WrestleMania. We'll probably see it again. I'm not totally opposed to that, but what's new right now, what's fresh, what's hot is the Beast Brock Lesnar and this personal rivalry that continues to grow with each passing week, Samoa Joe. That's right. This is your money matchup. Yes, they had a match at Great Balls of Fire, but who was not left wanting more? I, for one, was. That quick pinfall, that means nothing in the grand scheme of things. I want to see Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, but how do we get there? How do we get there? Next week, it's Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns to determine the #1 contender, and I think that's when we see the reemergence of Braun Strowman. That's right, Braun Strowman is going to cost Roman Reigns. That's my prediction. That's my hope. And then Samoa Joe is free and clear to go on to challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. That's my thoughts, Bill. What do you think? Let me know.
It's Darren Wood here, editor of Total Wrestling Magazine, a monthly print magazine that you can get through totalwrestlingmagazine.co.uk. We ship worldwide. Here's hoping that after Great Balls of Fire, that WWE continue to push Samoa Joe. This talented performer has been on top of his game for the last 10 years, and it's good to see that WWE are now having him in their main event scene. After the involvement of Roman Reigns on Monday night, I do kind of hope that the WWE don't put him in the main event scene, and in that title picture in particular. It's quite refreshing to see a new person on top of WWE and in main events, so I'm hoping that Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar get another turn to go one-on-one in the ring.
Where do we go from here now? That's a question that a lot of people ask about a lot of different things. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with the plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some wrestling today. Actually, specifically, to answer a question that Bill Apter asked me, and a lot of people have actually been in an uproar over. Ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns has interjected himself in this Universal title picture with Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. Now, a lot of people believe that Samoa Joe deserves to be the one and only challenger at SummerSlam for the Beast, Brock Lesnar. I mean, he did beat up the Beast. He beat up the Beast, but Brock Lesnar did have that F5 in his pocket. And why Roman Reigns? Let's play a little devil's advocate really quickly. Well, Roman Reigns, this is now his yard, allegedly. Roman Reigns is the type of guy, like, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, he's like John Cena. John Cena has a status where he could just interject himself. Hulk Hogan used to do the same thing. Why not Roman Reigns? Why not The Undertaker? If The Undertaker wanted the title shot, he didn't have to wait in line. I'm not comparing the greatest superstar in WWE history, Undertaker, to Roman Reigns. What I'm saying is this: Roman Reigns, whether you love him or whether you hate him, I honestly know why people hate him so much. The truth is, he's a good-looking guy. The guy has a family lineage in the company, and family lineage in professional wrestling. The guy is, he's a good wrestler. He's not bad. I mean, he's a little short on, a little short on charisma, not like Big Ray. But other than that, the guy is good. Or is he? Is he good enough to make the call himself? Well, where do we go from here now? I'm going to tell you where we go from here now. This is what I believe is going to happen. I don't know, guys. I'm recording this 7/14/2017. I have no inside information, even though Bill Apter, seems to have all the answers. He must have been good friends with Roddy Piper. But anyway, here's the deal. I believe the match between Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns will end in a no decision. Why? I believe that Brock Lesnar, the Beast, will come down and destroy both competitors. This is going to be a stiff match. I mean, both guys are going to beat the living hell out of each other. I'm talking about Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. But I honestly do believe the Beast is going to come in, and Kurt Angle is going to have to make a decision. Now, here's the deal. Kurt Angle's been under a hell of a lot of pressure. We don't know what the hell's going on. Who's texting him? What's going on here? Maybe he makes a brash decision to save his job. We don't know what the situation is right now. But I guarantee you this, guys. If Brock Lesnar interferes, which I believe he will, during the match between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, it will be a three-way dance at SummerSlam for the Universal title. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. You guys probably think I'm crazy. I think Samoa Joe put forth such a great performance, and he's so unbelievably believable, may have raised some eyebrows backstage in the gorilla position. I think Samoa Joe may in fact be your next Universal Champion here in the WWE. What do you guys think? Leave your comments here below. Am I crazy? I mean, why Roman Reigns? Well, this is his yard. Until Samoa Joe says otherwise. And don't forget that Beast guy, Brock Lesnar. I want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments here below, guys. Bill? Well, I hope I answered your question. And by the way, guys, leave a comment and kind of, put me over with Bill Apter. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much. And this is going to be very, very, let's just say, Interesting.